empower your inner feminine to express and to also redefine success in alignment with the values of your inner feminine. We have been taught by society, by culture, that if you want to succeed in anything, you got to do it a man's way. And this has been pushing us to alienate ourselves from our unique feminine essence. But every time we give permission to our inner feminine to take part in really everything we do, we are bringing more healing and balance to the world. We are empowering our inner feminine to express, and we are allowing ourselves to discover what our own feminine energy allows us to like, what are the qualities of our feminine energy. And so this is part 3 of the series of using your feminine energy in your work, and this is where I'm going to talk about intuition, which is one of our feminine superpowers. It's really a superpower for men and women, because we both have this superpower. But when we are functioning under our feminine energy, this is when we allow ourselves to connect to our intuition. And so science recently studied intuition and can now prove that intuition exists, and it has also categorized intuition in 3 categories. For so long we have been, in our society, in our culture, been alienated from our feminine essence and from all of our superpowers, one of which is our intuition. Because intuition to the wounded masculine energy is scary, because it's not something that conforms to the rational, logical mind. And this is when we are pushed to to push against intuition, and to not acknowledge it, to feel that it's not safe to follow our hearts. Let's keep it within the safety of the rational mind. And so because of that, we have been taught to not trust our intuition. Of course, trauma that happened through our upbringing, through our childhood, also can manifest in us disregarding our own intuition, being disconnected from our own intuition, this inner knowing within us, because that is what science says it is. It is that inner knowing. And to give you 3 examples of the 3 categories of intuition according to studies, according to science, the first type of intuition is described as the sensitivity of our nervous system. And it's like when you are walking in a crowd and you look one way or the other and you notice that someone is looking at you. And so science says that this is your nervous system's capacity or sensitivity to sense that someone else is looking at you. This is number 1. Number 2, it is when something you knew a long time ago but you forgot, but all of a sudden when you need it, that intelligence kicks in, and you can retrieve back that information. An example of that is, let's say, a nurse in the ER. She studied something about a certain rare case during her early years of studies, and then so many years go by, and then one incident required that she remembers or use that information, so she is able to retrieve it. This is number 2. Number 3 is when a mom's intuition, her inner knowing, her heart's intelligence tells her that one of her kids is in trouble or is in a bad experience, and this is what they call in theory that it could be related to the sensitivity or the communication between the electromagnetic field between the mother and the child. And so, however it manifests, now science can acknowledge and justify, even categorize intuition. And so we need not doubt ourselves and not doubt our intuition, because for every feminine, it is truly a superpower. So intuition is really the intelligence of our hearts, because it kicks in when we are connected to our hearts. It is always active, it's always speaking to us, but we cannot listen to our intuition when we are in our heads, when we are caught up in the drama of our minds. We need to learn to silence the mind and to listen to the heart, allow the heart to speak to us. This is when we are connecting to our intuition. In our business, studies have shown that a study has been done on a group of entrepreneurs in Australia, and they have found that, they made them into two categories: entrepreneurs who follow their intuition in their work and those who do not. Those who are exclusively using only the rational, logical mind. And so studies have shown that these group of entrepreneurs who use their intuition in their business have 50% higher chance of success in their second, third, and fourth businesses. And there are so many ways we can allow ourselves to connect to our intuition, and even ask this heart's intelligence. We can ask it for help, because this knowledge that the heart has access to does not conform to the thought processes that happen inside the brain. So it is an intelligence that surpasses that of the brain. It's a higher level of intelligence. The intelligence of our hearts surpasses that of our mind. And so, because it does not conform to the rational, logical mind, we can be scared of following it, because this intuition has access to information that we have not experienced in our through our senses yet. So that is why it could sometimes feel scary to follow it, and we may doubt ourselves because we have, through our upbringing, adopted a limiting belief that we should not trust our inner knowing, a trauma that caused us to disconnect from this inner knowing, from our own intuition. And this is why when we grow up, we tend to doubt our intuition. But basically, for us to connect with this superpower, we just need to allow ourselves the time to disconnect from the mind, the rational, logical mind, disconnect from our masculine energy, and to just lean back, and we can connect to our heart, connect to our body, connect to our womb. Any moment we allow our consciousness and awareness to just break free from the mind, the drama inside of our heads, this is when we are better equipped to hear the voice of our intuition. Hi, thank you. Thanks for joining. And so it can be done in several ways. One thing that I do in my business to, allow myself to connect to my intuition and to use that intelligence is whenever I want to post something, and I just, allow myself to take a few deep breaths, to center myself, to ground myself in my awareness, my consciousness inside of my heart, and then ask a question. What is a message that someone out there really needs to hear from me? Sometimes that answer that I receive makes no sense at all. But when I follow it, the impact of the thing that I share is really big. And I could notice from the feedback of the people who follow me or who have read that post, how it made a difference for them. And so it is really a process that we teach ourselves day by day to move into trusting our intuition more and more. Intuition is really faster than, like the intelligence of the heart is faster than that of the brain. Fear speaks to us through the intelligence of the mind, because it is using all of our limiting beliefs, the past experiences to speak to us. This is how fear speaks to us, and so it's a little bit slower. But our heart has access to information that we have not yet experienced through our senses, and it is like way faster than fear. This is how we can discern between if this is my intuition, my heart is speaking to me, or is it my trauma, is it my fear that is speaking to me. Especially when we're, for example, in situations where, let's say you met someone new and you have this feeling that, this person is up to no good. You're just not a vibrational match. You may tend to doubt yourself. You may tend to talk yourself out of that feeling, but later on you will notice that you realize that your heart was speaking the truth. And it's not easy to follow your heart, of course not. It's not easy to listen to the sound of your heart, to the intelligence of your heart, with all of the drama that's going on in here, with the safety that this brings to us. But this tells us to take risks sometimes. But this is where we can lean into our other feminine superpowers of surrender and faith, because when we know that we are always guided towards our highest good, when we know we are walking our true path, our soul's path, then we know we are being guided every step of the way. And this is the sound of our inner guidance. This is our GPS, like one of my friends likes to call it. This is our inner GPS that truly guides us. And it's always there. It's like our best friend. It's always there to support us, to lead us, to guide us. We just need to give ourselves permission to listen to it. And every time we connect to our intuition, to our heart's intelligence, we are empowering our inner feminine, because this is how she speaks to us as well. This is how we know what the world needs right now, and we bring more of that. This is where we can act more from a place of love and less from a place of fear. And can you imagine how your action is going to be like if your action is flavored with the energy of love, of your passion, of service? Then the impact of that action is going to be positive, really positive. It's going to be life-changing for some people. No matter how you, sometimes you may disregard it. For example, I can remember the times when I was asking my heart what would be the best thing to speak about today in a post, and some idea would seem very I would tell myself, well, everybody knows about this. Why would I want to listen to this intuition telling me to speak about this certain thing? And my mind says that's not going to be a very successful post. It's going to go by unnoticed. You will not get any likes because everybody knows this. And but the reality would be totally different. People would react in a very positive way to that. Sorry, I got disconnected for a moment. So for us in our business, we need to allow ourselves, to give ourselves permission, to empower ourselves, to redefine success according to our own values, to the values of our inner feminine. And this means we have to be moving in a way that we use all of our feminine superpowers. And for us to make the best out of this feminine superpower. We just need to get out of our minds and ground ourselves, our consciousness and our awareness inside our heart. So you can just, start breathing a little bit slower and deeper than usual, and just put your focus and awareness inside of your heart. Or you can ground yourself in your whole body, or in your womb, and that is very powerful for us women, to ground our awareness and our consciousness inside of our womb, and then we can ask the intelligence of our hearts to guide us, to lead us in whatever step we are wanting to take. So this is how you make a difference in today's world. This is how you make an impact in today's world. This is how you bring more of your beautiful, your unique feminine essence through the work that you do, by following all of these, by using all of these feminine superpowers. If you want to learn more about how your inner feminine likes to express, because it's unique for every woman. If you want to empower your inner feminine to express more in your work, in your relationships, if you want to heal from the past negative experiences and support your nervous system, to heal your nervous system and to expand its capacity to support you in the way you show up in your business or in your relationships, reach out. You can head over to the link in my bio to book your free session. This session, you and I can talk a little bit more about how my coaching program can help you. I can tell you also more about the flavorful mix of techniques that I use, the science-based tools and techniques, but also the feminine energy techniques that I use in my coaching program, to empower your inner feminine, because I truly believe that the world needs you to step into your feminine power and to lead yourself and the world the feminine way. Thank you to everyone who joined me, who watched this live, and to everyone who's going to watch the recording of this live as well. Thank you.